Tonight we begin the State of the Nation with the latest. Now, the Vatican has announced that the funeral mass for Pope Francis, who passed away at the age of 88 following a heart attack, will take place this Saturday. His death has sparked mourning among the faithful of the Catholic Church, with condolences continuing to be issued by various leaders around the world. Moses Masika Wetangula, Speaker of the National Assembly, led lawmakers today in mourning the religious and global leader who visited Kenya in the year 2015 with a message of hope for the youth. It is also remembered that after the Gen Z youth protest, Pope, through the office of the Apostolic Nuncio Habitus Van Megen, congratulated the youth for raising their voices on political issues affecting them and for maintaining a strong democratic stance.
Clerk, call the orders.
Members of the Kenya National Assembly today joined millions around the world in mourning the death of Pope Francis, the 266th pontiff, whose legacy of humility, justice and compassion has touched every corner of the globe.
He often called upon world leaders to uphold the dignity of all human beings and the sanctity of creation. His landmark encyclicals and tireless pilgrimages touched the lives of millions and inspired generations towards unity, humility, and service. For a minute's silence.
The lawmakers paid tribute to a man they said led by example, an unwavering voice of the marginalized, and a spiritual father who believed in a church for all. Todos, todos, todos.
World. The Pope is not just the leader of the Catholic, but he's the leader of this world. And therefore, I want to join the Catholics and Christians in the world to emulate, and other leaders to emulate the spirit of Pope Francis, to continue to build bridges and not walls. You can see in this country, as the president works, he's trying to build bridges all over, Honorable Speaker, so that we can have a more cohesive nation, more cohesive Kenya in the spirit.
Downtrodden. We are told that one of his last words when he was passing on, Honorable Speaker, is that the Pope told the health care person who was taking care of him, thank you. And we will always remember him as someone who was ready to intervene in matters that really affected the downtrodden. So once again, on my own behalf and on behalf of the Catholic faithfuls, is to say pole, and may his soul rest.
Kenya holds dear memories of the Holy Father's visit in the year 2015. Greeted by the then President Uhuru Kenyatta, Pope Francis urged unity, warning against the dangers of tribalism, and led a historic open-air mass at Kasarani Stadium.
Signo contra el tribalismo.
Let's hold hands
Todos
together.
Somos una
Let's
nación.
stand up as a sign against bad tribalism.
Todos somos una nación.
We're all a nation.
All are a nation.
We are all a nation.
And he is a symbol of humility. Mr. Speaker, when he came to Kenya, he did not just choose to go and stay in the high places, but he chose to go and worship in the most humble place, and that is Kangemi. And that is why we remember him for the great humility.
And he taught us that it doesn't mean anything to own everything in this earth and throw your soul to hell.
The thing we have to do to stop a young person being recruited
Es educación y trabajo.
is education and work.
Si un joven no tiene trabajo,
If a young person has no work,
¿qué futuro le espera?
then what future awaits him or
Y
her?
ahí
Even in his final years, his voice resonated with the youth during last year's Gen Z-led protest.
Stop killing us! We are peaceful! Stop killing us! We are peaceful!
The Pope, through his envoy, praised young Kenyans for championing democracy, urging the inclusion in the national discourse, words that stirred both hearts and headlines.
Is the way he went around doing his work, and especially when he visited the country. We were privileged and honored because it is not usual to have the Pope here.
a humble man we all should emulate. And we offer our condolences to the entire Catholic fraternity, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I hope now that for the 267th election, it's my hope that we will get an African Pope. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
His body lies in state at St. Peter's ahead of a Saturday funeral expected to draw world leaders. But true to form, Pope Francis has asked for a modest ceremony. His final resting place, a humble church in central Rome, under a simple tombstone bearing only his name. Emmanuel Gutosi, KUTV.